like Enbridge.
Why don't you like Enbridge?
Because they just keep ruining other people's lives.
And what was some of your symptoms that you had after the oil spill?
I had 3 seizures at the other house and 2 seizures where I live now.
What was the fumes like?
They were very strong. They give you like a funny taste in your throat. It makes your throat kind of sore if you're breathing it in a lot.
Did you get sick from it?
Yes, I got migraines. I had a seizure for the first time in my life.
You had a seizure after the oil spill, the first time in your life?
Yes.
And then my son actually had an episode where he looked like he was having seizures, passing out. I even took him to the ER, and they just counted it as dehydration.
They just started digging it up, you know, and they're saying it's not dangerous. Why are we still getting sick? And they won't give me answers. Oh, it's clean, it's safe, it's this, it's that. Live here then. Tell me it's clean and it's safe. Live here and eat what comes out of that river. Swim in that river and tell me it's safe.
Yeah, I hear you. I know what you mean. I've been talking to a lot of people that are going through the same thing.
And then Enbridge tells me I live too far away from the river to be affected by it. And I can throw a rock in the river. That's how close I live. I'm pissed. I come up every day. I come up with little pimples on my arms. They break out. I never had that. Never.
Have you seen a doctor now?
Yeah.
He says she's not going to make it to her 50th birthday because of this oil spill from the chemicals. That's what he told her.
Excuse me, sir. What's your name? I'm Richard.
My name's John Bolenbaugh, and I'm her friend.
Yeah. It's affected me more than you would think. And your company says it's not harmful. But yet, like I said, I'm not going to make it to my 50th birthday. I'm 49 years old. You like your life shortened that much?
Can you turn on the air conditioner? It's on the wall. In the hallway. Push the right button to the left. It's okay, babe. I got you. It's okay. It's almost over. It's almost over. It's almost over. It's almost over. It's okay. It's okay. It's almost over. It's okay. I got you. I got you.
This is why we have to stop Enbridge and these oil companies from doing this. They're having seizures and they're getting sick from this tar sand oil. Please help us.
Shallow waters I can't see, your clear waves lapping at my feet. The lifeless ocean, black not blue. I didn't help but deep down I knew. In shallow waters I used to see dolphins playing in front of me. The seaweed swaying, keeping time. Tidal rhythms, laugh not cry. Oh, oh,
was over on the other side with the press too. They just didn't show the footage of that. All that side, I'll fall right in over there. Down over there, I'll fall in. All they do is they put grass and put this canvas over the top of this little area. They didn't dig that. I'm telling you, they didn't dig this place up.
Tonight, our I-team takes on accusations of an Enbridge cover-up. Last July, a pipeline owned by Enbridge ruptured in Marshall, sending hundreds of thousands of gallons of oil into West Michigan's waterways. Now a former Enbridge employee is blowing the whistle on the company, accusing it of covering up oil. Tonight, he takes us to some of those areas he claims are still soaking in the mess. News Channel 3's Aaron Baskerville takes the whistleblower's concerns to Enbridge, and he's live now in the studio with this cleanup controversy. Aaron.
Judy, Enbridge is firmly standing behind its policies, saying it's following the right procedures set forth by the EPA when it comes to cleanup. The company says some oil will be left behind right now because removing it could cause more damage. But one former worker is doing everything possible to get his story out there.
The creek's right over here.
A former worker blowing the whistle on Enbridge takes News Channel 3 on a tour of sites he claims still have oil, but the company is not coming back to clean up. John Bolenbaugh still finds ice packed with oil and is making strong accusations against the company.
They were trying to meet deadlines. So what they would tell us to do is take dirt, put it over the top of the oil. They were telling us to take mud with oil and throw it into the woods. They were telling us to rake dirt over the top of oil.
And he says because he wouldn't do those things, he was fired in October after 2 months on cleanup operations. But Bolenbaugh believes the so-called smoking gun is near Talmadge Creek in Ground Zero in Marshall.
I just wanted to prove that this is all oil. It is all oil. This is not mud. Mud will freeze. They put this canvas over the top of it. This is just plain old canvas. They put grass seed underneath it, and what's supposed to happen is the grass will grow through.
He's accusing Enbridge of using a coconut matting to cover up obvious oil, with the company having no thoughts of ever cleaning these areas up. The project director was scheduled to go out to the site with us, but said a significant issue came up, so we showed him our video.
No, that is not oil. That's sediment. Now, whether or not that sediment is contaminated, I can't tell from the video, but the individual is not needing even oil. It's obvious that this was taken in a wetland area where the sediment is saturated with water. It's mud. That's what he's standing in, is mud.
But you can't tell because they got this canvas over the top of it. This is just canvas. See this? They put this over this entire area. Is all canvas. They plant grass underneath of it. The grass will pop through. Okay. And this is, they'll say it's marshland. They tried to say this winter. But listen, oil does not freeze. And I could walk every single place in a swamp, everywhere. You can drive a truck over most places. But if there's oil there, you're going to do this in the middle of the winter. This is all oil. Okay? Can you see how deep I am? My whole leg is buried. It's not easy to get out, but this grass is covering it up for you. Alright? I'm just telling you, it's here. It's going to get in your wells. This is the truth. These companies are evil. It's October 9th. I just showed you the coordinates. We're at Talmadge Creek, and I'm gonna just show you that they put sand over the top of the oil. Can you see how clear it is? You can see right down to the bottom, looks really clear. I'm gonna take some sand. I'm gonna show you real close up. This is sand, all right? See, there's no sheen. Reason why that's important is because when I dig down, the oil is underneath the sand. See it coming up? It's under the sand. It's not in the sand, it's under the sand that they put there in massive amounts. Wow. That's disgusting. Alright? Look at how much oil that they buried. Look at how much they're digging out. Because of my complaints. This area right here is the area I showed. Look at how much they're digging out. They buried all this oil, and now because of my videos, they're redigging it out.
My name's Ben Gotchel. I live in Lincoln, Nebraska right now. I grew up on a ranch in Holt County, Nebraska in the Sandhills, and the Keystone XL pipeline is going to come through the Sandhills, and so I came here to Michigan to see what a tar sands oil spill would look like, and what I found out is that it's far worse than I could have imagined. What we have here is lies. The extent of the damage here is far worse than Enbridge said it was, and the extent of the cleanup is far more inadequate than they could ever even explain. What we have here is a cover-up of intense magnitude. This is a crime. This is a crime against nature. It's a crime against humanity, and we do not want something like this going through the Sandhills of Nebraska. No amount of oil is worth it. We can't risk our land and water for this. We can't do that. And I'm going to do everything I can to stop that from happening.
My name is Adrian Van Dellen. I live in East Texas, where the Keystone XL pipeline is proposed to be constructed. It would cross 6 river channels and many bogs, sloughs, and bayous, wetlands, similar to what I've witnessed here in Marshall, Michigan. I somewhat imagined what it might be like if we had a spill in East Texas, but the magnitude of what I've seen here is beyond imagination. I'm just stunned by what you've shown us, John. The cover-up is beyond reality. How they can consciously do this is beyond imagination. It's unconscionable. To Washington, well, President Obama says we need to push him. We're going to push him, and if we have every chance, any chance we have, we will talk to the press about what we've seen here. John, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up. God bless you. Don't give up.
Depositions for his lawsuit prove he was telling the truth. The I-Team has examined those deposition transcripts. For example, this testimony on page 39 was from a man Bolenbaugh says was his former boss on the cleanup. Do you recall being present at a meeting in which John Duncan told SET employees that they didn't have to cover up oil if it bothered their conscience? Yes. And when did that take place? After an O'Brien representative told us to spread oily debris in the woods out thinner so it would look less like there was thick oil there.
And, you are owner of the Moonraker, or part owner?
Yes.
All right. That's in Marshall. The oil spill was on the other side of this building. And when did you smell the oil for the first time?
It would have been the Friday before it was called in on that Sunday.
Okay, so it was called in on Sunday, but you smelled it on Friday, which is the July 23rd.
July 23rd.
And did anybody else smell it?
Yeah, quite a few customers had been coming in off the golf course, which is probably less than a mile away from here, or right around a mile from here, and had observed smelling the same type of smell that we had observed on our deck as well as in our parking lot.
Now, didn't you have the guy that actually made the 911 call on Sunday that reported this, he also smelled it on Friday?
His name was Jim Blankenship. He also observed smelling it on Friday, I believe as well as Saturday, but I do remember that he did make the call after leaving here approximately at 9 p.m. on Sunday.
All right.
The 25th.
Well, I want to thank you. They were actually looking for it prior to the 911 calls, because I've actually talked to other people about when Enbridge started looking for it. And so Enbridge basically for 3